alaikum, brothers and sisters. My name is Rabbi Amin and I am here with you once again on The Light of the Quran. As you know, this is Ramadan. Ramadan is the month of the Quran, but it is also the month of blessings, forgiveness, charity, and hopefully gaining rewards to one day enter Jannah. I hope you all have a wonderful day. As always, please feel free to contact us with any questions, comments, or concerns at nrbtvcanada@gmail.com. I hope you guys have a wonderful time learning. Let's listen to our scholars.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursaleen. On behalf of Al Media's Light of the Quran program that will be broadcasted in NRB TV, it is my pleasure to meet you again through this program. My name is Imam Irshad Osman. In this episode, inshallah, I'll be speaking to you about punctuality in Ramadan. Dear viewers, teenagers, students, and youths, we always complain about not having enough time. We always complain about being busy. Sometimes we wonder, what is it we are busy with? We always say that we don't have enough time to accomplish many things which we want to achieve in our lives. We say there's no time to study for the exams. We say that we don't have time to go and play a game or soccer or do any kind of extracurricular activities. But do you know, Ramadan in this month, it challenged our thinking. It challenged our conventional wisdom of thinking that we don't have enough time. How did Ramadan challenge this? When Ramadan comes, as you would say, that it changes our life upside down. How so? We don't sleep at the time we used to sleep. We don't wake up at the time we used to wake up. We don't eat at the times we used to eat. We don't meet others at the time we used to meet others. We don't socialize with our friends at the time we used to socialize with them. What's happening? Ramadan changes our schedules upside down. Why? Because Ramadan is challenging us. Challenges the notion that you said that you don't have time. But now, where are we? Where did we get the time to pray 20 extra rakahs for 30 days? Where did we get the time to read the Quran for 30 days? Where did we get the time to give charity? Where did we get the time to sit together with our family for iftar and suhoor? How did that happen? From where did that miracle happen? It did not come externally. It came from within you. It came from within your willpower to connect, to be together, to put in that effort to maximize the reward in Ramadan. That is a great lesson in punctuality. We are late sometime for events. We are late for meetings. We are late for school. We are late to catch the bus. Are we ever late for iftar? Are we ever late for suhoor? We cannot be, because what Ramadan does is that Ramadan sets fixed timing so that it cannot be broken. If you miss the fixed timing in suhoor, your fasting is invalid. And obviously for iftar, even without Ramadan setting a time for Maghrib, although you can, there is provision to delay. People don't delay because they have been fasting for 17, 18 hours. They want to break the fast soon. And the Tarawih time cannot be postponed. Isha time, as usual, prayers cannot be postponed. What does it say? To the same point again. Ramadan challenges us to think, challenges our notion. It challenges us to think beyond our current understanding of our time. It says, if you are passionate, really passionate about something, you will certainly find time. You will certainly find time for your priorities. Einstein, the greatest scientist, had 24 hours. Imam Ghazali, who wrote many books in his life, had 24 hours. Our beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also had 24 hours. Look at what they achieved. In one of the books, one of the scholars says that when people are looking at what Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam achieved, a scholar would say that I can believe if somebody says that the mountain has been moved from one place to another, but I can't believe that Muhammad within 23 years, he moved the hearts of people. A community that has been expanded to 1-2 billion Muslims around the world. How did that happen? Did Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam have more time than us? Only 24 hours. Did Einstein have more time? Did Imam Ghazali have more time? Not really. So here, or punctuality is that it comes from being passionate about doing something, being very focused about one, prioritizing. So being passionate, and the second one is prioritizing yourself. Recent studies suggest that on average 17 hours are unproductive in a 45-hour work week. So if somebody is going to work, they are working for 45 hours, actually they are working 45 minus 17 hours. They are not productive in those 17 hours. It could have been spent on chit-chatting, it could have been spent on social media, it could have been spent on mind wandering around, it could have been spent on simply not being focused enough. So here comes the third lesson for being punctual, is that the focus. If you are very focused, then you will understand every single second which passed by is important, is precious in your life. Ramadan comes and tells us that every day there are $86,400 are being credited to your account. That $86,400, you have to use it. It cannot be moved forward. It cannot be left in your balance. It will dissipate in the middle of the night. What are those $86,400? Those are the seconds which has been given in Ramadan. If you look at the entire month, there are about $2.5 million has been credited to your account. How are you going to utilize that time? Are you going to say that, oh yes, I don't have time? No. You are utilizing. So that Ramadan tells us, if you can utilize in Ramadan, you can definitely be punctual outside of Ramadan as well. If you can be on time for iftar, you can be on time for your classes. If you can be on time for suhoor, you can be time for your prayers and Jum'ahs and your appointments with your family members and friends. That's a great lesson. So as we learned, punctuality comes from three things. One is being focused, second being prioritized, then third one is being passionate about things. Let me tell you a very interesting research done by Gary Siskind. He says that there are 8,760 hours in a year. How many? 8,760 hours in a year. Out of that, we sleep 2,555 hours. And we work for 2,080 hours. Still, 4,635 hours are left. Remember those unproductive hours I was talking about? 4,635 unproductive hours in a year. If, Gary says that if a person who is interested in cycling, for an example, he can travel half the world with these hours before his death. If he's utilizing 4,635 hours every year, and he lives for about 60 years, he could learn cycling, he could master cycling, he could travel around the world, half the world during that time. Subhanallah. Now think about learning a new skill. Think about learning the Quran. Think about learning the Arabic language. Think about memorizing some hadith. And think about doing some extra volunteer work to the community, to the masjid, to your community, to uplift others. How much we can do. Now, can we still complain that we don't have time? Not really. Because Ramadan is the lesson in punctuality, is that Ramadan comes and tells you, know what, if you want to be punctual, if you want to maximize the time, remember, everything is in your hand. Time is in your hand. That is the lesson Ramadan gives. In Arab, there's a beautiful saying, إضاعة الوقت أشد من الموت لأن إضاعة الوقت ينقطعك لمن الله والدار الآخرة والموت ينقطعك عن الدنيا وأهلها. Wasting time is worse than dying, or wasting time is worse than the death. Why? Because the death will only disconnect you from your family and from your dunya. But wasting time will disconnect you from Allah and the hereafter. Subhanallah. Think about that. Let that sink in for a moment. So in Ramadan comes to us to teach us, you have all the time in the world to do whatever you want, whatever you put your mind and heart into. Do you want to become somebody in your life within 20 years or 10 years? You can be so. Nobody can challenge you, nobody can tell you otherwise, because Ramadan is the best teacher. It comes every year to remind us we are more capable of we think we are. If your mind can perceive something, if our heart is passionate about something, definitely we can achieve that in our lives. That is the lesson Ramadan gives. So as students, as youth, as teenagers, this is a great lesson. It's a great time in front of you. This Ramadan is, inshallah, is going to change your life for the better and change your life to become a very productive and important person in your life. So remember to utilize this Ramadan. I ask Allah that He gives you immense blessing. He gives you immense blessings to utilize Ramadan in the way Allah has intended that to be. I ask Allah, He gives you to carry the lessons of punctuality, lessons of focus, lessons of passion, and lessons of being prioritized your task to the 11 months, so that inshallah I ask Allah to give you success in your school life, in your studies, in your family life, in your work life, in your community life, everything because of the lessons you learned in Ramadan. Wa akhir da'wan alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
فمحمدنا هو سيدنا والعز لنا لإجابته